Could anybody doubt, after the last 2 years, that if government had the means to not just use COVID passports, vaccine passports, but actually control people's behavior and thoughts and information, can anybody think for a second that now there would be any doubt that they would hesitate?
But they absolutely would have. As I said, the UK had the nudge unit that was basically the analog version of what you're talking about. That they were doing it, and because they couldn't get into our minds and rewire us from our own bodily autonomy. They decided to bring in a vaccine passport system, which basically controlled our behaviour, because it limited where we could go and what we could do. So without a doubt, if governments had the technology in place to be able to do certain things to our brains and our mental state, they would under the guise that this is for your benefit. This is for the benefit of the collective, the safety and security of the collective. All infringements on civil liberties and personal autonomy are done in the name of that by government. Even in Nazi Germany, the things that were done were apparently for the good of the collective. The things that were done in obviously Stalinist Russia and Maoist China and current communist China are done in the name of the collective, and Western governments did all that they did over the last few years in the name of the collective and for the greater good.
Yeah. Sandra, how important, what does your book tell us about how important it is embodiment to our personal identity, to who I am? We hear about the sacredness of identity all the time, and I think that's a God idea, not just a postmodern idea. However, postmodern humanism has taken identity to be your feelings. If you feel gender confused or you feel sexually confused, that's who you are, and nobody can try to help that, because that would be hate. So identity is important, even if we've got different understandings of it. But what do you say about the importance of embodiment to who we are?
Well, very important, and it's a strong theme in my book that we are, as human beings, we are a psychosomatic unity. So we are soul and spirit and body all together, and you can't prize that apart. So some of the transhumanist agenda, which is basically shedding our biological body and this whole dualism of what a man is, or what a human is, flies against this this idea of us being mysterious souls, not hackable animals. Like we're not just algorithms, we're not just data. We are made in the image of God, and we are spiritual beings. And you can't prize apart these things, like like this uploading our brain into some other kind of body. You will no longer be human. Like that is not, we are not human anymore. And unfortunately, that is the far goal of transhumanism. So transhumanism, you've got another word called posthumanism. So posthumanism is like we are being changed so much through technology that we will no longer recognize ourselves, like as human beings anymore. And I think this is what's troubling to me, that the transhumanist agenda, like they want to be post-human. They want to shed the biological body. They want to overcome, like death and, well, disease is something that we do want to overcome, but death, that they want to overcome death. They want to overcome our own body because it's vulnerable, it breaks down, so they seek to overcome that by, all sorts of ways. I mean, one of it's cryonics, so they freeze bodies until they have the technology to bring them back to life and to extend their lives. So I argue in my book that embodiment is part of who we are as a human being. A human being is an embodied soul. So it's not just, our brain. It's not just our intelligence. It's not just algorithms and data that we can transfer. And we are human beings, and we act in social settings, and we need a body, and that's to me is extremely important. So I have a whole chapter about embodiment in my book.
I hope you're enjoying this conversation. You know what? We have to fight back against the censorship of big tech. Would you like to help? You can do that now by heading over to the website goodsource.news. We're going to end the conversation here on this channel because we need to make sure that we're independent and not reliant on big tech. Head over to the website goodsource.news right now for the rest of this great video.